I'm standing on Lowell Avenue, just south of Alhambra Avenue. I'm within the city of Los Angeles. Alhambra Avenue becomes Mission Road as it enters Alhambra to the east. Also next to me is the site of the proposed 710 Freeway extension, owned by and it's land owned by the state of California. It's currently occupied by a truck and bus repair company. Our proposed bike path would use Lowell Avenue and get across that railroad right away, Union Pacific Railroad, either underneath through an underpass, through a bike and pedestrian tunnel, or using a higher elevation, it could be a pedestrian and bike overhead bridge.
This map shows there are two barriers to north-south travel to bicycles and pedestrians. The red line shows the Union Pacific Railroad, and this line shows Interstate 10. It turns out the freeway poses less of a problem because there are more crossing opportunities shown in green compared to the Union Pacific Railroad. There's a 2-mile barrier effectively between Valley Boulevard and Fremont Avenue where no bicycle or pedestrian can get across. If a bike and pedestrian underpass or overpass were built roughly at Lowell Avenue, as shown here, to get across the Union Pacific Railroad tracks, that could provide a break in that barrier. This aerial photo shows where the bike path would lie, starting from Lowell Avenue, going either beneath or over the railroad tracks, emerging south of the Union Pacific right-of-way, cutting through this property here, and joining Front Street in the city of Alhambra. This property shown here, outlined in yellow, is owned by the state of California for the proposed freeway extension. South of the railroad tracks, it's occupied by Grifols, the pharmaceutical company, who is using it as a parking lot. Presumably that's a temporary lease. North of the railroad tracks, also owned by the state of California, is a truck and bus repair company. On this profile, it's pretty rough. It comes from Google Earth, but it appears feasible to install a tunnel from Lowell Avenue and emerge on the south side of the tracks. An alternative to an underpass would be a overhead bridge, and that could be accommodated if this property currently occupied by the truck and bus repair company were used to build a series of ramps that would rise up after zigzagging to provide adequate clearance over the railroad and then zigzag downward until it meets the grade of Front Street. Shown from a profile view, it would be a structure that might look like this, zigzagging till it reaches sufficient clearance over the railroad, and then a similar structure could be built on the other side.
Okay, we are now at Front Street and Westmont Drive. This is within the city of Alhambra. Behind me is the fence for the future 710 extension right-of-way. And with the bike path proposal, this would be at the southeast end of that bike path. Bicyclists and pedestrians could emerge from there and travel down Front Street and heading off south onto Westmont Drive is a direct route to the Cal State LA campus. In fact, hardly any modification is needed to provide a decent Class 3 bike route to the university campus. Possibly just some upgrades at the traffic signal at Valley Boulevard to improve the sensitivity of the signal detectors.
If a bike path could be built either under or over the Union Pacific Railroad here, there would be a lot of opportunities for connections. On the north end, there are currently bike lanes on Alhambra Avenue into the city of Los Angeles. But Lowell Avenue provides a good north-south bike route up towards Huntington Drive, and Concord Avenue provides a good bike route towards the center of the city of Alhambra. On the other end, Westmont Drive provides a direct connection to the Cal State Los Angeles campus located to the south.